Hey there, friendos. So the first thing that I decided to work on was the cape part and like the skirt part and stuff. So the first thing I did was have my cat sit on my fabric so that he could flatten it and make it out all like pretty and stuff to make everything just so much easier. It just goes easier that way. I'm using this white fabric is like a pre-build to the actual cape. I wanted to make sure that the measurements and everything were right. Basically, I just measured my back to like where I thought the cape hit on the character, which is like her calves. I don't really know. So that's like the pre-build that I did. Ooh, yeah, so fancy. I look like a ghost. And then I put that onto the actual fabric, which I am using double-sided fabric. It's from Yaya Han. It's really expensive, but I got a discount because I had coupons, and coupons are very important. And now I'm working on like the actual skirt part. As you can tell, I'm actually just using the game for like all of the references for this. It was very hard. But with this one, I just measure. I think that's the front part of it. Oh my god, I lost so much footage. What happened? But basically with this, I took my X-Acto knife and I cut it up basically. All those lines that you see, I actually drew out, like freehand drew out with a chalk pen marker pencil. Chalk pencil. That's what it is. It's a chalk pencil. Yes, wow. Wowie. So that's what that is. It was really fun. And then I fray checked it so that the edges are hard and that it won't break apart. Oh wow, Taylor, how did you get that horn? It looks so cool. What did you do there? Wow. That is pink insulation foam. It is that really thick, gigantic stuff that you can get at Home Depot. Like a sheet of it cost me like $32 or so. I think that's how much it was. Those are actually 2 pieces glued together because I got the 2. Did I get 2-inch thick? I think I did. I think it's 2-inch thick. I basically just carved it out of insulation foam, and yeah, this was the first one that I made, and it was really hard to get the second one shaped correctly. So I am using a really long knife, and this is what I heard the entire time. Isn't it great? Isn't that fantastic? So yeah, I just used that really long knife to kind of carve away the horn and stuff to make it the shape that it's supposed to be. As for like getting the measurements for the horn, I low-key kind of guessed on everything. I just drew out a pattern on paper and stuck it to my head and was like, was this look okay? Is this accurate? And somehow it turned out to be accurate. So yeah. A lot of the times it's just making your own pattern. So when I'm carving like the inner curve, I'm taking it in like super small triangles, and okay, you should not be up here. This is very dangerous pink foam. Please do not eat. Now I'm like holding it up against my other horn because I couldn't get the shape right. I was so nervous. I was like, I'm gonna fuck this up. It's gonna be terrible. You'll see in a minute. I ended up fucking up. That's where I fucked up. So I ended up just tearing the top part off, and then I glued another part onto it. And then I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll be okay. Also, please do not use a knife like I did. I ended up cutting myself.
That's pretty close. Watch your fingers.
Well, you said that a little too late.
What?
Nothing.
Let me see.
No.
Oh.
Although it is really good for shaving away tiny little pieces like I'm doing now. Oh god, that's so dangerous. Why am I doing this? So right now I am wrapping the horn in masking tape. It's so that I can make the pattern on the actual masking tape. So yeah, I'm just wrapping it completely in masking tape. I could have gotten the thicker masking tape, but why would I try to make my life easier? So now I'm just staring at my 3DS trying to figure out how the hell these horns are actually supposed to go because they are literally impossible. Now you can listen to high-speed mic.
Melissa, use our run and we'll break out the guy Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no. Whoa. What? That's not no. Right? Hey, bring that away. That's mine up.
Oh, whoa, Taylor, how did you get this cool worbla horn? Oh, it looks so cool and like interesting. So, this was another horn. I made it off camera because I wanted to make sure I did everything properly. So this is how the like end product turns out to be, kind of, a little bit. So, I took my, I broke it. I forgot I broke the tip of the horn off on accident. Look, it's broken. So I had to glue it back together. I took my X-Acto knife and I sliced a line down the masking tape thing that I made. And I cut out all the individual little scales, is what they are. And I put them on the very thin craft foam, and now I'm just cutting them out, leaving room for overlapping because they are going to overlap. And then I'm just hot gluing it onto the horn itself. So if that makes sense, you can kind of see, oh boy, it's not sticking. Why? Oh, why, Taylor? Because you didn't put any hot glue there. Oh yeah, let's just stare at it and hopefully it'll stick with my staring powers. Oh, now let's stare at the 3DS some more and maybe then it'll stick. Fantastic. So yeah, just hot glue, lots of hot gluing and cutting. And then make sure you take the tape off of it too, so that when you put the worbla on top of it, it doesn't get all gross and weird and wrinkly. So now I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I'm basically cutting out the like back side of the horn, because on the back side it has like a very defined line. And now I'm just sanding that super tiny foam that I had to kind of mesh the sides of the foam with the insulation foam. That way it has a very even surface to put the worbla on. And with worbla, if you've never used it before, it is a thermoplastic. You heat it up and you can bend it to any shape that you want, and then it cools and it stays like that. So I use a heat gun that my mom gave to me. She did it for like stamping and cool stuff like that. And this is after sanding all of the little bits and pieces, because it ended up, it was such a weird shape. Like, it was so weird and complicated. So I had to like mesh them all together. And so yeah, I had to sand all those awful bumps down. But yeah. So I'm heating up the worbla after I'd already put it on the horn, and I'm taking that cool little scalping tool and I'm pushing the worbla in, so it's going to like stick underneath those scales and like form to those scales. And the cool thing about worbla is that it like meshes into itself. So when I'm pushing it down like that, I'm getting rid of a seam. I must have lost the footage where I was sanding on the inside of the horn, but it's got some like different details on the inside, and you guys will see in a bit what that looks like. And stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Ew, why does my foot have to be in this? Excuse me, foot, please go somewhere else. You're not invited here. You also have to be careful not to heat the foam up too much, because then the foam will start melting and bending and getting all crazy, and then it'll bend out of shape because craft foam kind of sucks like that, and it doesn't go back into shape. It's just kind of ruined forever. So you just have to be careful of that. So now I'm taking a mixture of wood glue and water. It's mostly water, honestly. And I'm painting it onto the horns, and this is how I prime them. I think I did this 7 times. There's a lot of wood glue on these horns, but I wanted to smooth out all the seams because I didn't do that great of a job of getting them off. You know, I make these things to look good from a distance, not up close, okay? So don't get too close. You can peer from a distance and then they'll look fine, okay? So this is after the 7-ish coats of wood glue. They're so smooth, like it is so crazy how smooth these are. But I put these on sticks like this because wood glue has a tendency to run really bad. You'll get all these little drips and it's not a fun time. So now I'm moving on to the headpiece. I'm using the sandwiching technique with this. So I'm cutting out the headpiece itself in craft foam, the little super tiny craft foam. And so I've got the headpiece, and also I've noticed this bit, this weird wing looking bit, whatever this is, pops out a little bit. So I'm going to put this on top of the headpiece to kind of give it more shape. And then I cut out a piece of worbla, face down, sticky side up so that it would stick to the worbla itself. And now I'm using that sculpting tool again just to kind of push in the details. And now it looks like that. Wowie, wow, yeah. And then I just used my scissors and I cut it as close as possible to the little design itself. And yeah. It looks all cool, and I would sand it down, but it got really late. It was like 9 o'clock, and that was really late to sand as loud as I did. So yeah, now I'm just sanding it. I have to find a jewel big enough to go in that middle part because she has like a red jewel. It's pretty cool. So now I'm working on the neck piece. I don't know if you guys can see in that like lower right hand corner there. Yes, that little corner. I'm using a collar actually. It's a kind of like a posture collar, but it's not one. It laces up the back, but I'm using that as a base to kind of figure out how this thing goes. So this is after me taking my scalping tools over there, my little tool, and like pressing in all the things and stuff, and there's a lot of bumps in it right now. I gotta work on maybe getting those out. I don't know if I can or not, but anyway, this is a neck piece. It does things. It could actually like work to not have me killed is that piece right there that you can barely see. Yeah, that piece. And I know it's actually a collar, but I decided not to make it a collar. Not because I'm lazy or anything, you know. So it's actually gonna be my cape holder. So as you can see in the back, it kind of like comes down a little bit. I'll have a really long wig or my hair covering the back anyway, so it's not like you can even see it, but from the front it looks like a collar, and you know, it does stuff. It does cool things, but I gotta work on getting these damn bumps out of here. I don't know if I can or not. Hi! He squeaked earlier, it was really cute. I lost all the footage for me making the neck piece as well, so there's literally, I don't know what happened. I'm not very good at this whole work log thing. Maybe I can fix it. I don't really know yet, but I hope you guys kind of like this. Sorry the video's a few days late. We ended up having weird computer problems and it was terrible. But I hope you guys like this video and have a super awesome rest of the day. Go do awesome creative things and I will see you guys next week. Bye!